My gosh. Sanji, I feel so bad for you, Sanji. Everything you've been through this chapter yet again. I ain't gonna lie, like, Judge, you're a scumbag. Period. Judge is a scumbag and a half. I mean, time and time again we've seen, but like, yet again seeing in this chapter him telling him, yo, you can run, I don't care, go ahead, go, escape, go, but just never say that I'm your father. You are the biggest shame of this family. To a little kid, if Oda doesn't give us that sweet utter revenge of either Sanji or all the Straw Hats and Sanji kicking Judge's ass and all of Sanji's brothers, I'm gonna be disappointed, because at this point it's almost as if they're begging for an ass whipping. Seeing that backstory and everything, it's like Judge deserves nothing but a kick to the face times 1,000. I hope Sanji, with the revelation that they've had these modifications in their body, him and his brothers, I hope he unlocks something even more deadlier than Diable Jamble to fucking just like annihilate Judge, because how do you do that to your own son? And like, he was trying to talk as if he has a little bit of humanity in him, like, oh, you know, I would never be able to live with myself doing that myself, but if you want to go out there and get yourself killed, so be it. It's like, no, Judge, it's time for you to get your ass kicked, and bad. Like, retribution is waiting for you, buddy. So this chapter, yet again, a lot of the people that, which initially I was saying the same thing regarding Raiju, is that Raiju, people said, no, she's a scumbag or whatever, and some people still stick to her being a scumbag simply because they say, okay, even though she felt bad for Sanji, she never really acted and whatnot, so it's kind of like, hey, you know, you wasn't helping him, so you're a piece of shit too. But with this chapter, it reveals one huge thing about her character, which right now, I'm team Raiju all the way. Like, Raiju, just what she did in this chapter, showcasing that she was the one that liberated Sanji from the hell that he was going through, helping him get out of the cell and everything. Like, Raiju for the win. Great character. I love the exposition we got in this chapter for her backstory and how she was basically, even though scared of them, she ultimately wanted to help Sanji, and she knew that he was basically going through hell, and I need to save my brother. And did anyone feel as though it was very similar to the little words that Saul said to Robin right before she got away or whatever, like, get away from here, one day you're gonna find people that are gonna care for you, and you're not gonna go through this. Like, it hit me in the feels, just kind of talking about it, giving me goosebumps a little bit, because it's so fucking sad. Like, Sanji, probably, if not the saddest backstory in One Piece, definitely one of the saddest. But you gotta think, he had a double whammy. Not only he had the shit with Owner Zeph later on, but then finding out in this chapter, him being locked in a cage and his brothers breaking the cage to get in there and beat him up again while he had a mask on and everything. Like, poor fucking Sanji. We also get to see Sanji's mother in this chapter. Honestly, for a second there, I was kind of confused when I first saw her, because her character design is basically identical to Raiju. Like, it looks just like Raiju, except, you know, at this particular point in the story, Raiju would have been a little kid, obviously, and his mother is a grown woman. And her being sick and stuff like that, I'm kind of curious how she got sick. Was it something to do with Judge? I mean, there is a small smidget of humanity in Judge, so maybe it wasn't that he personally did anything. She just naturally got sick or whatever. But like, to see that she was a kind-hearted woman, and that's probably where Sanji gets most of that shit from. It's probably because he inherited most of what his mother is. Likewise with Raiju, it's just that Yonji and the other two fuckers, they came out with Judge's personality, and it's kind of like just genetics in general. Sometimes, you know, there's a mother and a father, one of them is a dick, the other one's okay, and then some kids will come out like the dick, and some kids will come out like, you know, pretty alright person, and that's the same thing that happened with Sanji and Raiju. And the modifications, I don't think really had any big part in the personality change. I think it was mainly just the conditions and how they were brought up in a sense, and that's why Yonji and them, they're like, I want to impress dad, I'm gonna be a piece of shit, I don't have no empathy, fuck that shit. So that's probably why they're like that. Although I am curious to see where it was that Sanji picked up his manners and his nice treating of women, because if he got away so early and he didn't really get to be around his mom like that to learn how to be a proper man, was it in between that and Owner Zeph, or was it just being with Owner Zeph that he picked that up, or was it because his mom was one of the only nice people to him, you know, a grown woman, that he was like, yo, if women are like that, women are nice, then I need to treat them with respect. So maybe that's how he got it. Because I mean, the woman was so freaking nice to the point where even when he brought her the food and it was already all fucked up and nasty and shit, she still ate it because she cared so much about him. And I guess that's what added even more of an appreciation to people that will eat your food, and good people and stuff like that, because his mother would eat dog shit, basically scraps, just to make him happy. Now, one of the most controversial things about this chapter is some people think it's genius, some people hate the ending with the Luffy versus Cracker stuff of Luffy eating the crackers. One of the main complaints that people have about it is that Luffy in, I think it was like Gear 2nd, Gear 3rd, and maybe even Gear 4th, he was having trouble fighting the crackers because they had the Haki on them, but he was seemingly able to eat the crackers in this chapter. Like, one of the things I can think of is A, he just like put it in his mouth and would swallow it without really biting it, or maybe B, once he got a hold of it, the Haki would like not be on it. Maybe like he had to have a main Haki on one particular cracker or something like that. So there's a couple different theories there. I mean, honestly, I felt as though while yeah, it is convenient, and that's definitely the most problematic aspect as far as like if these things had Haki on them, how the hell is Luffy's teeth biting on them stronger than him going Gear 2nd, 3rd, or 4th? You know what I'm saying? But as far as eating them, like, hey, they're genuinely crackers. I'm gonna eat them shit. So that was intelligent. It's just a sense of making logical reasoning as to how he was able to eat these crackers that have Haki on them. But if it's a defensive thing and he's not going offensive and chewing on them, and I know I'm analyzing eating a fucking cracker, but bear with me, people. If he just swallowed the cracker and it went down, then it really wouldn't give him a problem. He wouldn't have to deal with the ornament Haki aspects of it. And the fight seemingly isn't over yet either, so there's still a little time for that. But with all that being said, honestly, yet again, One Piece, that backstory, like, take that last page aside. Even if you hated that last page, you cannot deny that everything before that, finding everything out about Sanji, his sister's true feelings and stuff like that, how she don't give a shit about the other brothers, she really cares about Sanji, and the mother, and Judge being a piece of shit, like, all of that, great stuff. Honestly, like, if it wasn't for that last page's controversy, which personally, again, I think if it's explained a little bit better, it would have been like just perfect. This chapter, 9 or better, 9 out of 10 or better. It would have been a 10 if we had clear clarification regarding that last page, regarding, you know, Luffy versus Cracker, how he was able to eat the crackers in a sense. But either way, still a great, phenomenal backstory of Sanji going down in One Piece history as one of the most tragic and sad things. Like, poor Sanji, what the fuck, man? The Straw Hats, they all go through some shit, but he went through a double whammy. Like, there's only one other person in the series that I know that I felt, or maybe 2 other people that went through a lot of shit that is equal to what Sanji was going through, and of course that's Robin and Law, and maybe you can argue Brook being on that shit by himself for so long. That sounds miserable as hell, but yeah, that's my stance on that. Great shit, great chapter. Poor fucking Sanji. Judge, you need your ass kicked. Like, you need a sign that says, kick my ass now. But let me know what you guys thought about this chapter. First of all, big question that everybody is going crazy over. What do you think about the Luffy versus Cracker at the ending of the chapter? Do you think that's BS as far as like him eating the crackers because they had ornament Haki? Also, how do you feel about Sanji's backstory? Did you get them feels seeing the hell that was Sanji's childhood? And your overall thoughts. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.